October 14th, 2022. Podcast 361, episode 361. Let's go. Of course, I have a few things to share with you guys. An evening of reflection. Shall we? Black worker fired after he's told to forgive and forget. Co-worker Slur, feds say. There's only a handful of names that I respond to in the workplace. My first name, my last name, and if that's so hard for you to remember, you can always call me what your wife calls me, King Mandingo Almighty. It's so simple you don't have to guess. After a black worker complained about a co-worker calling him a racial slur, the HR director defended the use of the slur, saying it was taken the wrong way, and went on to harass him according to a new federal lawsuit. The former HR director for Bartow County, Georgia, ordered the pair to shake hands, telling the worker to forgive and forget. Court documents state this took place during a meeting about the worker's complaint. For a lot of these companies, for a lot of these businesses, HR is put into place to protect management and to protect the best interests of the company, while at the same time keeping an eye out for potential whistleblowers and other employees who they may deem to be troublemakers. However, he refused to shake hands with his coworker. Rightfully so. Why would I want to shake hands of someone who openly disrespected me? That's like saying, "Thank you, sir, may I have another?" and was fired 2 weeks later, along with his brother-in-law, who is also black and worked for the county, the Justice Department says. Why the brother-in-law? What did the brother-in-law do? Did he use this guy's name as a reference? Did they come in at the same time? Or did they just see it as a good way to make a clean sweep? Now the Justice Department is accusing Bartow County of race discrimination and retaliation against both men who were fired from their positions within the county's road department. According to a news release, the department filed this lawsuit on October 13th. McClatchy News contacted the county and its road department for comment on October 14th and was waiting a response. No one should be forced to labor in an environment where employees condone racial slurs and employees are expected to tolerate them, U.S. Attorney Ryan K. Buchanan of the Northern District of Georgia said in a statement. As a human resources director, not a human resources representative, a human resources director, how is your way of de-escalating the situation to just shake hands and forgive and forget? You're not thinking about how we might catch this guy in a parking lot after work and beat his ass, and you're also not thinking about the legal ramifications, which you should really be concerned about. The worker and his brother-in-law. What did the brother-in-law do? First filed discrimination charges, but they're going to get that bag together though. Yeah. With the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, according to the release, after the agency's Atlanta office investigated their complaints, it found reasonable cause that Bartow County possibly violated Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and referred the charges to the Justice Department. That information is posted in the break room of every workplace across the whole country. How did HR not see this coming? The worker was employed by Bartow County Road Department, which is in charge of county roads, from 2009 until he was fired in 2019, according to court documents. If someone gives you 10 years on the job in this day and age, if they bring any concern or gripe to you, you should be willing to listen without any reservations. While working there, he was continuously promoted until reaching the position of a mechanic 2. His brother-in-law began working part-time for the department in 2016 before getting promoted to a full-time worker after a few months, a complaint states. This is very important to know because it lets us know that these are two employees who are bringing value to the workplace. They're not just two slackers who all of a sudden ran into a situation. Now they're looking for a quick payday. Outside of work, the former county mechanic raises pigs and had texted his coworker a pig feed recipe on June 5th, 2019, according to the complaint. The next day, the man received a text from the coworker, who was white, that said racial slur at work showed me this. I ain't tried it, the complaint states. Bartow County has a policy stating workers who believe they face discrimination or harassment must report it to HR, according to the Justice Department. The man complained to a supervisor about his co-worker's use of a slur the following Monday, June 10th, according to the complaint. He also made it clear he did not want to work with the co-worker going forward. It looks like they took his complaint, twisted it around, and made it seem like he was the one out there trying to cause trouble instead of looking at it as a legitimate concern to be brought to the workplace. And let's be honest, that guy was beyond professional, because we all know that one employee who would have beat that guy's ass and took whatever smoke came along with it. His complaint made its way to the county's HR director, who called the man into a meeting in her office that same day. The complaint says, with his coworker present in the room, the HR director immediately began defending the coworker and harassing the man, leading him to believe he had done something wrong by reporting the text message and that it had offended him. The complaint states, she said the man had no reason to take offense to the slur, asserting that the worker listened to rap music that uses the slur and probably refers to his friends using the same term, according to the complaint. Hold on. Can we call HR on HR? Out of pocket. Then the HR director searched the slur on her phone and read a definition to him saying, you don't think this is you? Wait a minute. It's so ridiculous. Before adding, why didn't you just call him a cracker and be done with it, the complaint states. In response, the man said, we are all too old in this room to not know why this word is offensive, but the HR director wanted him to move on from the issue, according to the complaint. At the end of the meeting, the HR director asked the man if he had told anyone else about the matter, and he said he told his brother-in-law. The complaint says, I wish you hadn't done that, the HR director responded, before telling the road department director to keep his eyes on him, according to the complaint. How that man made it 10 years at that job without noticing that the whole structure, the whole management structure, is steeped in prejudice is beyond me. After these people let me know how they really feel and seeing their true colors, a statement like that would have had me concerned for my personal safety. In the days after the meeting, both workers were accused of misconduct in relation to their submitted timesheets and were questioned about their work hours. Bullshit, the complaint says. After all this time, they never had a problem. Now there's a problem. Prior to the man complaining about his coworker, the pair had never been questioned about their work before. Absolutely. 2 weeks after the man reported the slur, both he and his brother-in-law were fired for alleged discrepancies in their timesheets, according to the Justice Department. The Justice Department accuses the county of wrongfully firing the men in an act of retaliation. Both men have experienced significant pain and suffering and emotional loss, anxiety, stress, and loss of employment of life caused by the discriminatory conduct of Bartow County, the complaint states. Months after the men were fired, the HR director was investigated after a firefighter accused her of sexual harassment, according to the complaint. She's not even a dirty cop. She's a dirty HR director, and that's hilarious. Instead of firing her, the county allowed her to resign. Yeah, because she probably did a lot of dirty shit and screwed a lot of employees for them. The Justice Department's lawsuit seeks to recover monetary damages, including lost wages for the men, and demands a trial by jury. Next up, woman allegedly helped boyfriend cover up 2016 murder of his wife when she was a teen. Now she's been arrested. It's just so much wrong with this, because first off, why would your boyfriend have a wife? And more importantly, why is your boyfriend not telling you that he's going to leave his wife for you? No, it's not that easy. He has to kill her. Love is complicated. Love is complicated. In October 2016, 22-year-old Catherine Katie Blauvelt vanished after ending her shift at a local pet store in Greenville, South Carolina. Nearly 2 days after she vanished, her lifeless body was found in the basement of an abandoned house in Simpsonville, riddled with stab wounds, according to the Greenville County Coroner's Office. The day before her body was found, her estranged husband, John Blauvelt, fled the state with his 17-year-old girlfriend, Hannah Thompson, police said. Local news station WSPA reports. If I help my lover get rid of her spouse, I wouldn't even trust her anymore, because I would be thinking, if that's how we got rid of him, what's going to happen when it's time for you to get rid of me? Hey, love is complicated. Love is complicated. This July, after a 6-year manhunt, U.S. Marshals tracked down John, 36 years, John, 33, in Medford, Oregon, and took him into custody. He is charged with murder in connection with his estranged wife's murder. He is also accused of deserting the U.S. Army since he was working as a U.S. Army recruiter when he fled, Fox Carolina reports. Now Thompson, 23, has also been arrested and accused of helping Blauvelt the day his wife was killed and lying to police about his whereabouts, court records show. Thompson was charged with 2 counts of misprision or concealment of a felony, 2 counts of obstruction of justice, and 1 count of accessory after the fact, according to the Simpsonville Police Department. According to an arrest warrant obtained by local WYFF4, Thompson allegedly dropped Blauvelt off near the pet store where Katie worked on the day she was killed. When Blauvelt allegedly drove Katie's car to a parking lot to make it look like it was abandoned, Thompson followed him in her car, the arrest warrant states, Fox Carolina reports. Even though someone might not be a legal adult at the age of 17, it's still old enough to know that helping someone carry out the murder of his wife and get away with it is wrong. Dead wrong. That, and if you're dealing with an older man or an older woman, it would be pretty hard to get a read on if they really care for you or if they're just manipulating you. Love is complicated. Love is complicated. On November 18th, 2016, while the pair was on the run, the Simpsonville Police Department charged Blauvelt with murder and possession of a weapon during the commission of a violent crime, Greenville News reported. She allegedly failed to tell police about that and also concealed the fact that she knew where the suspect was who was wanted for this murder, the arrest warrant says. WYFF4 reports. Asked where Blauvelt was, Thompson allegedly told authorities he disappeared one morning. The arrest warrant says. Fox Carolina reports Thompson was reported missing on November 21st, 2016. At the time, she allegedly traveled cross country. She returned home that December after telling her parents she wanted to come home. Things weren't as romantic and lovely as you thought they were going to be. Thompson remains held without bond at the Greenville County Detention Center. Online jail records show. Fun show. Fun show. Fun show. That being said, I'm going to wrap this one up, but I'll be sure to talk to you guys very, very soon. Adios.